What's going on, everybody? Today is a very interesting day because I am going to be cutting up these bad boys. I have a decent amount of logs here in my yard, and I have been collecting them because I'm a wood turner, and that's what wood turners do. We collect logs. We collect them to be able to obviously cut them up and turn them into bowls. The reason this is going to be an interesting video is because I just recently purchased... Where did it go? This. I recently just purchased this Stihl M170 or M170, whatever you want to call it, chainsaw. I know it's not the biggest or baddest chainsaw you can get, but it was in my budget, kind of. And I decided to pick it up and actually start turning these logs into usable lumber. I do have some experience with chainsaws from before, but all of those have been electric and honestly not that good. So today I'm going to be taking you guys through the process of me kind of relearning how to cut up some logs and get them into some usable bowl blanks. I have done this before. I know what I'm looking for and I kind of know what I want. So let's just get into it. So before we get into actually cutting these things up, I want to go over a couple of safety issues that some people might have. Obviously, I am not dressed for success, as it were. You obviously want some chaps and a face mask and things like that, which I do have glasses and stuff for. I don't have any chainsaw chaps, but I've said this multiple times before, your safety is your own. And I feel okay chainsawing these without chaps. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the butt or the leg. Second of all, get to know your chainsaw before you just start going and cutting a bunch of stuff. It's something you should do with any tool, is get to know it, do some little test cuts, get used to the weight and just the feel of it before you start going all lumberjack on things. These are very dangerous tools. Luckily, Stihl has put in a lot of safety features into their machines, so I feel very safe doing what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, with what I'm doing it with. For all the safety police out there, go ahead and leave your comments down below. I would love to hear it, and I will take it all into consideration. Now, I am just using the stock blade that came on here. I don't even know if it's a ripping blade or what kind of blade it is. I'm assuming it's a combination blade, so that's what we're using. I will be looking into a ripping blade, I hear is best for this kind of work, so I'll probably be looking into getting one of those, but I'm pretty sure this is just gonna get the job done. And as I said before, I have been playing around with this a little bit, so I am used to it and I feel very comfortable with it. Now let's take a look at the lumber that we're gonna be cutting up. So pardon my mess back here. It's well, it's a lumber yard. So this is the wood we're gonna be cutting up. This is elm. It's from Idaho. And it is really old. You can see there's just a lot of, well, cracks in it because it's just been sitting outside for almost 2 years, 3 years maybe. I actually have no idea how long. A really long time. And the elements have just gotten to it. So I don't expect, obviously, to be using a good amount of it, but I'm going to try and get what I can out of it. I also have some Russian olive here. This I'm not a fan of. I've cut it up before and every bowl blank I've cut up out of it has just fallen apart and cracked. I don't know if it was rotted or what, but I'll probably just end up cutting it up for firewood. Moving on to the other side of my shed, I have unknown species. So I have this. I'm not sure what it is, but it's new. It's probably only a couple months old, so that's nice. Should be able to get some good little bowl blanks out of that. And this bad boy, this thing is massive. Not sure what it is. And this guy, some good old crotch piece here. Hopefully we can get a good bowl blank out of that crotch and salvage the rest of it. But I'm going to try and cut a few of these up just because I want a variety. and we'll go from there. I do not actually know wood species all that well, especially from when it's in a tree form. So if you guys actually know what these are just by looking at them, let me know. I'd love to hear what it is, or what you guys think about it. But let's get to cutting. So one thing I do know for sure about chainsaws and chainsaw blades in particular is you do not want your blade to touch the ground at any point. That's just a big no-no, and I'm pretty sure you lose your chainsaw card if you let that happen. So what I've done is I have put 2 logs together and then put my log on top that I'm going to cut. I put it here so I can make my cuts and cut these logs and not worry about my chainsaw hitting the ground. In the future I might do a little build where I build a stand or something to make this process easier, but for now, this is what we got. We're going to cut this end up until I find where the cracks are either at a minimal or non-existent. And then I'll probably cut this end as well to the same point and kind of see where we're at with what we're left with. And then we'll start chunking it up for some bowl blanks. Yeah, I think we're through. Oh yeah. So, still have some decent cracking there. We'll go a little bit more. I don't want to go too much because I want to save some of this obviously, but we'll see if we can keep going a little more. Oh yeah, that's looking way better. The cracks are very minimal there now, so that's probably where I'll keep that. That's looking really good. I'll move up here to the top. Well, I don't know, I've got a huge knot right here, so we'll just cut it at the knot and see what we get from it. Alright, let's see what we're working with here. Whoa, okay. Oh yeah, that looks great. I can still feel moisture in here. So that's that side. And then we got this side here. That knot's still there, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. We got that crack there. Now I need to look into cutting this up. This is actually good. If this crack is here, I could probably cut right here and right here. Let me show you what I'm thinking. You obviously don't want this. Probably more like you don't want that. That's the pith. So I'm kind of thinking if I can cut it something like this, that would give me a little bowl, and this would give me a little bowl. I like that. Looking at this side, looking at it this way, it looks really good. So I think we'll do that. This log kind of resituated, so it's not swinging around on me, and I want this guy. I have no idea how I want this guy. I don't want this. I definitely don't want it rolling around. Look at this. This thing can basically come out of this bark. Maybe I can do that. Yep. There we go. So yeah, I need to see. I guess I can do it like this still and just cut this way. It's tricky because the pith goes like, it's over here on this side, and then it like goes this way. Just kind of draw myself something to reference off of. This is going like this all the way to here, and then from here something like that. Yeah. good. There we go. All right. So there's that. Yeah, it's definitely not the best way because you want it to be almost like a square up here. But it's all right. Not bad. It's a good little blank, it looks like. Looks really nice and solid. So now we'll get this side cut. Let's find the safest way to cut this. Wedged. Just don't want things moving around on me. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's pretty wedged in there, but now I've got dirt and stuff underneath it. Will this guy fit under there? Just a little cedar picket. Just to make sure. Yeah, that was fine. All right, let's try that. Pretty sure I'm through there. Yeah. Nice. That pith is out. And now we have another little bowl blank. Okay, so now we're gonna cut up the second half of that log that I'm not sure that's actually even gonna work because it's got a big knot in it and a lot of cracks on the side, but we're gonna see if we can't salvage anything from it. And then we'll move on to the next species. So that didn't really work out because this second piece had two knots in it. It had one here and then one over here. So I could maybe cut this up into other sections, but honestly right now I'm not really wanting to put in that much work. So I tried with the other half like this, but this crack is just all the way through. So I don't know. I think these are just going to kind of be firewood, and we'll take what we got from that log. Now the fun part, I get to dig out some of these and see what I can do with these. I am not at all ready to try and conquer this big boy. Same with this crotch piece. I'm not ready yet. So I guess we'll just dig into these, maybe do one of those and see how it goes. Let's see if I can just lift one up out because I really don't want to move all this stuff. Ugh. Yeah. So we got this guy, a couple spiders and bugs on it, but I think a big part of milling your own logs and stuff like that for bowl turning is seeing the bowl blank before you cut it. So I have a long way to go before I'm like good at that, but it's definitely something I want to practice and get good at. That's why I'm walking you guys just through that little thought process of cutting it here, somewhere around here. We'll have two good bowl blanks there, hopefully with some crotch pieces in there. And then we might have another little section down here. Let's get this guy over there and get it ready. All right. I did move this log up and put some wedges underneath it so that this log is higher, because as I cut this and I cut into this log, that's fine. That's obviously why I want it there. But if I want to use this to find some bowl blanks in at some point, I won't really be able to because I'll have too many cut marks in it. It's just trying to think ahead a little bit. But anyways, also with this higher up, it definitely is going to make it easier to cut. So let's get going. From what I have found, people who cut crotch blanks, they do it this way. And then you can make your bowl like this or however. So that will work for me. I'm looking at how thin this is going to be. So fairly thin. We'll probably end up turning it into a platter. So we'll go that, and we'll probably cut it to about there. And then we'll cut this off. Then we'll cut our crotch piece. Well, man, this is hard to see. It's hard to like visualize. I'm trying to picture, yeah. So we'll probably cut it about here, if you guys can see that. Probably cut it about here, so then that way when we have our blank, we're looking at a bowl or platter about that large. How do we cut this? Oh, it's gotta go like this. It's not sketchy at all. All right, look at that. Yes. Oh yes, that's beautiful. Oh my, yeah, it's pretty. That's gonna look good. It's gonna look real good. Still got some cracking in here, but I think it should be fine. Thing is still pretty messed up. Those cracks run deep, and by the time I get to where they aren't any more cracks, there's not going to be much of a bowl in there, so I think we'll just leave this bad boy for firewood. Okay, so I have these 4 bowl blanks, more or less. I still want to kind of finesse them, chop them into how I want them, but I've got these 4 beauties here, and I think that's what I'm going to call it, because I am tired. And I'm not trying to throw my back at it or anything today. I'm just trying to make a YouTube video. So I think this is where we'll call it. Next video, we're going to be turning them, I guess. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys learned something from it. I know I have already learned a ton just from doing it, so hopefully you guys did as well. And yeah, be good, be safe, be happy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.